Unleash the fury! Crush them all! For honor and glory!
Shalom, 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 Israel. First off, giving all honor and praises to the Most High and to his son Yahushua, with the battle axes of the Most High, coming to you with another Sabbath class breakdown. And I know, like we was talking about with brothers and sisters, kind of want to go into a few things, but it's always wise and always that we get back to the basics, or like what the scripture calls the meat, the milk of the understanding. We always want to make sure that we are stand and get built upon on a good foundation with milk, making sure that that milk is solidified, and also making sure that once you get a good understanding of that, there's nothing wrong with going to the meat or going to the deeper understandings of the scriptures. But you want to make damn sure that you are growing upon with the meat, the milk thereof. Who knows the precept? Brother's a little slow. Look at it. Let's get that right quick. Let's start off with the book of Hebrews, chapter 5 and verse number 12.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 5 and verse 12. For the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have that one teach you again, which be the first principles.
Read it again. You have need.
Verse 12 from the top. For the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of God.
Which be the first principles of the oracles of God. Read on up.
And are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat.
So we see that the first principles of the Most High is what? Desiring milk. That is the milk, because the thing is, you have to understand the basics before you can go into more advanced levels. Do brothers and sisters understand that? And this is something that Christians really hadn't learned. They don't understand that the New Testament is more advanced. Mainly when we go into Paul's epistles. So when you are forgetting and not reading the Old Testament, guess what? You have no foundation. You're not built upon nothing. You're not built upon the first principles. Like we always say, what book or any book can you just pick up and start at the end of the book to get the understanding? It doesn't work that way. The Bible is no different. Read on out.
Verse 13. For everyone that using milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness. For he is a babe.
So it comes to the new brothers that are being built up. You know, you on a milk. Don't be trying to go out there and battle a super Christian. For you are a babe. Take that time to get on a good understanding, a good foundation. Read on out.
But strong meat belonging to...
Hold up. Take your time out. But strong meat, meaning the deeper understanding, Paul's epistles is strong meat. Read on out.
But strong meat belonging to them that are full of age.
That are full of age. What? Spiritually. Meaning brothers that have been in the truth for a number of years, that also have the experience. Because just because you have been in the truth for a number of years don't mean that you still gain that spiritual capacity or really understand the scriptures like how you think. Do brothers and sisters understand them? Read on out.
Even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil.
And that's what experience teaches us. Experience teaches us to do what? Have our senses exercised spiritually to discern both good and evil. And this is how brothers and sisters are fare better once you understand these things. You understand how we use discernment, discretion, wisdom. These things are help brothers and sisters do what? Make better decisions. That's what the truth is all about, making better spiritual decisions according to the words of the Most High. That's what this truth is about. Go to the book of Psalms 119 and verse 66. I would say discernment in wisdom. Knowing how to move, when to move, what to say, when to say it. We could bring this class out and we see a brother or a sister still say something out of season after class. Like, damn. It's pivotal that brothers and sisters apply these things to their everyday life. Pivotal. Psalms 119 and verse, what did I say, 66? Read that right quick out.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 66. Teach me good judgment and knowledge, for I have believed thy commandments.
He said, teach me good judgment and knowledge. And this is what we want the Most High God to do for us as a nation of people. To teach us good judgment and knowledge. Start up at verse 65, Salakia.
Okay. Verse 65. Thou hast dealt well with thy servant, O Lord, according unto thy word.
So he's saying he have dealt righteously with his servant, O Lord, according to thy word. Read on up.
Teach me good judgment and knowledge.
Read on up.
For I have believed thy commandments.
For he have believed the commandments. That's where knowledge comes from. By us believing the Most High God's commandments. Soldier Karatazar. All praise. Sirach chapter 32, verse 24. He that believeth on me taketh heed to the commandments. That's what the word belief means. So a lot of times Christians don't understand that belief is spiritual behind it. Belief is an action word. They think that it's not an action that comes behind believing, but it actually is. Read on up.
Verse 67. Before I was afflicted, I went astray.
Before we was afflicted, we all went astray. Read on up.
But now have I kept thy word.
But now we understand that we are the children of the Most High and we're commanded to keep the words of the Most High. Read on up.
Thou art good and doest good. Teach me thy statutes.
Read on up.
The proud have forged a lie against me.
Read on.
But I will keep thy precepts with my whole heart.
And this is what our job is as a nation of people, to keep God's commandments with our whole heart. Once brothers and sisters start to do that, that's where your discernment level grows. That's where your wisdom grows. That's where your, guess what, discretion grows as a nation and as an individual. You got some up?
Read 67 again.
Verse 67. Before I was afflicted, I went astray. But now have I kept thy word.
So the Bible shows you that being afflicted does what? It helps you grow, right? Being afflicted helps you grow. That's why constantly we endure test after test, because that's your sign of significance of growth, right? If you pray to the Most High God for strength, is he going to directly give you strength? What is he going to do? He's going to try you. He's going to put you in a situation to see if you really and truly are able or capable to have that strength. So never be afraid of affliction, right? We know that what chastisement comes with favor by the Most High God, because we are his, right? Let me get a real quick precept. Proverbs 3. Because like I said, going over discernment, this is a well-known class in Israel, but it's always good to reiterate these things, right? Because one thing Christians will say is that what? Oh, once you saved, you can't lose salvation. Oh, I'm saved. I can't lose it. But the Bible differs with that. Read, start from the top.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 1. My son, forget not my law.
Forget not my law. In order for you to forget something, you have to what? Once have it or know it, right? This is why we reiterate class. This is why Ak is going into this, to show y'all that guess what? Sometimes we got to go back, get to the basics, get to the milk, because you can forget things, right? Think about it. When you started out in the truth, you start out as a babe, you start out with the milk. And then what you want to do is try to elevate yourself to the next level, right? When we elevate ourselves, sometimes we'll be like, man, that small precept, I can't think of that precept. We've all done it before, right? This is why it's always good to go back, right? Reiterate classes. Read it on up.
But let thine heart keep my commandments.
Your heart is your mind. Man, dealing with you don't know Ezra the other day? Dealing with some Christians. They say your heart is not your mind. Lord have mercy. Read that again.
But verse 1 from the top. My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments.
Read on.
For length of days and long life
Uh-huh.
and peace shall they add to thee.
Just like we just read, because that's going into maturity, right? The more you get to what study, find yourself worthy of this truth, do and react to the laws, you start getting maturity. That at the length of days, what it gives you that maturity level, read, that we want to have. Read.
Verse 3, let not mercy and truth forsake thee.
Uh-huh.
Bind them about thy neck. Write them upon the table of thine heart.
Because we know we serve a merciful God, but don't let that forsake you, man. Don't let you get caught up to where you feel like that, oh, I'm capable of going into this without the Bible, no, without the scriptures, or without my leaders, or without the counsel, right? Read on.
So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man.
And that's what we're looking for, that favor. When we want to get into this discernment, we want to be able to find favor with God and also with men, because we are that true light, right? Finding favor with God is teaching his men, right? Teaching his children. So we want to make sure that we understand that. Going back to reiterate classes, always be willing to go back and get understanding. Go ahead, Doc.
Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 1. Let's say discernment in wisdom. So the two topics today will be what? Wisdom and discernment. Those are words that brews need to already have in their vocabulary, in their thoughts, in their heart, and also the precepts that link up with them. Because we may go over some precepts and you may have other precepts that we didn't pull today. The book of Sirach, chapter 1.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 1 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
All wisdom cometh from the Lord.
Read on up.
And is with him forever.
Uh-huh.
Who can number the sand of the sea and the drops of rain and the days of eternity?
And the days of eternity. Read on up.
Who can find out the height of heaven?
Uh-huh.
And the breadth of the earth and the deep and wisdom.
And the deep and wisdom. Read on up.
Wisdom had been created before all things, and the understanding of prudence from everlasting.
And the understanding of prudence from everlasting. The word prudence means looking towards the future. Bruce don't know that? Take a mental note. Looking toward the future, because that's what wisdom gives us. Wisdom gives us the understanding to look toward the future, to look at our sons and to see us in their image, to guess what, to build them up, to do what, to continue the legacy of the Most High, to consider that great next generation, Salakia, for lack of better words. Read on up.
Verse 5. The word of God, Most High, is the fountain of wisdom.
Read on up.
And her ways are everlasting commandments.
Uh-huh.
To whom had the root of wisdom been revealed?
It says, to whom had the root of wisdom been revealed? And that's a question that Sirach is asking us. Who knows the answer? Brother Fred. To whom had the root of wisdom been revealed?
To the babes.
Yeah, that's one on what you got, Ezekiel. To the prophets. Amos 3 and 7. What's another one? To just Israel as a whole. Psalms 147:19. Also what? What's the precept for wisdom? Psalms 4 and 5. Say it again, Ezra. Deuteronomy 4 and 4. Remember, wisdom as a whole has been revealed to the nation of Israel. That's what makes us above the other nations, according to what? Romans 3 and 3. Various other precepts. Read verse 6 again.
Verse 6 from the top. To whom had the root of wisdom been revealed?
Read on.
Or who had known her wise counsel?
And who had known her wise counsel? That's why, even like Captain Yara says, it's good that we always do what? Reiterate these things, so we can keep brothers and sisters fresh with the precepts. Give me the book of Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 5. Keep brothers fresh. Start up at verse 4.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 4.
Uh-huh.
But ye that did cleave unto the Lord your God are alive, every one of you, this day. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me.
Read on,
that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
That is plain, man. Plain upon tables. Wisdom was revealed to the nation of Israel. And it was revealed to the Israelites that did what? That cleaved to the Most High. Saying the same thing throughout the scriptures. Read on,
which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Read on,
for what nation is there so great, who had God so nigh unto them, as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is there so great that has statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law?
Read on.
Which I set before you this day.
Read on.
Only take heed to thyself.
This is the key. Only take heed to thyself. Read on up.
And keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life.
Meaning what? The Most High God, just like he gave wisdom, he can also do what? He could take it away. He could take it away as easily. Brothers and sisters, not being diligent in the truth, not taking the truth seriously, not trying to grow as an Israelite. These things can easily be taken from brothers and sisters. Having spirit, know that, do I want to today? Yes, you should want to every day. That's right. And especially on the Sabbath day, God's high holy days. Anytime that, guess what? We can represent the Most High and worship him in truth. Guess what? That's an opportunity to show the Most High God that, guess what? I'm in this thing to the end. Read on up.
But teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons, especially the day that thou stoodest before the Lord thy God in Horeb.
Read on up.
When the Lord said unto me, gather me the people together, and I will make them hear my words, that they may learn to fear me.
That's right.
All the days that they shall live upon the earth, and that they may teach their children.
And this is what the Most High God is having us do these things. To do what? To teach our children, so it can what? So it can never end. So that the next generation of Israelites could be what? Better than the ones before. This is what this is all about. Go back to the book of Sirach, chapter 1. And verse number 6 again.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 1 and verse 6. To whom had the root of wisdom been revealed?
Read on up.
Or who had known her wise counsel?
So to whom have the root of wisdom been revealed, or who had known her wise counsel? It's going into the Israelites. Read on up.
To whom had the knowledge of wisdom been made manifest?
Read on.
And who had understood her great experience? There is one wise and greatly to be feared, the Lord sitting upon his throne.
Read on up.
He created her.
He did what?
He created her.
The Most High God created her for us, meaning what? Wisdom. So brothers and sisters could know how to move in certain situations. Prime example, in a marriage, we have to constantly keep going over these things, or in specifically proving a friend. What is the proper way to prove a friend? Any brothers or sisters, raise your hand. What you got, Soldier Karatazar? Don't know brothers and sisters know how to prove friend? Hey, everybody in here got some damn body, but don't nobody know how to prove them? What the hell is going on? What you have, Sister Adiva? Or almost everybody. Let me correctify or make a disclaimer. Go ahead, sis. Bringing them to counsel. What else? How do we go about proving a friend? Because remember what we said, discernment and wisdom covers all things. Go ahead, twin.
Asking hard questions that you might not want to ask yourself.
That's another great one. Yeah. What is the one that I specifically point out to brothers? Brothers should know this. What you have, Soldier Azariah? That's a good one. What?
Proving like so. If the wife can do what you tell her to do.
Well, she ain't your wife yet. If you prove no, what the hell, brother, to jump the whole gun.
Well, my bad. If she can do what you tell her to do, even while she's mad.
That is a very, very heavy point. Do sisters understand that? So one way to know if y'all ready to take it to the next level, if you have a sister that you are approving and you're asking her to do something while she's out of the spirit. And if she wholeheartedly submit to that thing while she out the spirit and mad at you, that is a good indicator. Like, hey, sister is growing in the truth. Guess what? We might be ready to move forward with this thing. That is one indicator on how brothers and sisters should use what? Discernment, discretion in what? Proving a friend. Do brothers and sisters understand that? This is one of the ways how the Most High God will prove us to see if you're ready to take it to the next level. You got some up?
Yeah, because y'all already know, we playing matchmaking this thing. I'm going to tell y'all, first thing and foremost, man, and we always implement this, and I'm going to tell you, I don't know how many times it's been done. Come to counsel before you even want to prove somebody, man. I'm going to tell you again, come to counsel. Because I'm going to tell you, if it's a proving that we like, nah, brother. Nah, brother, that ain't. Or okay, we might be agreeing with that. That might be an agreement because we are able to see the congregation and more understanding that one of y'all might not have.
That's right.
The very first thing, man, is to come to counsel, man, right? And we've been trying to implement that for a while, man, and we need to get to that because that'll help us in a lot of situations before it even get to where it get to. Oh, we messed up. If y'all come to counsel first, man, and hear that counsel, hopefully that counsel, hearing that word or get you on the right step. So.
Who agrees with that? Well, who disagrees with that?
Right.
I want them niggas in my damn business. Who are them niggas to tell? All right, well, when your nigga behind is up in there with a dragon in that mug, either you or her, don't come back.
Get that 11:30 car. Hello, Captain, ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. This nigga over here.
Hey, we done got those calls before. And brother, we done warned you. Sis, we done warned you. Hey, we're not saying these things to be ugly. We're saying these things to be truthful out here to understand what brothers and sisters could get yourselves up for if you're not properly doing it the right way. Keep reading up.
Verse 9. He created her and saw her and numbered her and poured her out upon all his works.
Read on up.
She is with all flesh according to his gift. He had given her to them that love him.
And read it again from the top.
Verse 10 from the top. She is with all flesh according to his gift.
Read on up.
And he had given her to them that love him.
And had given her unto them that love him. Remember, you have to be keeping the commandments in order to do what? Gain wisdom. That is the only way. If brothers and sisters thinking that they're getting wisdom without keeping the commandments, you are sadly mistaken. It is just no way. Then you are making the Bible to none effect. And the Most High God doesn't deal like that. Give me 1 Kings chapter 3, verse 9. So even like we say, remember, this can be applied to many different fashions in life. It could be applied to what? Hearing a brother teaching false teachings, false prophets, marriages, altercations between one another. Discernment and wisdom can be applied in all fashions. Read this right quick.
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 3 and verse 9. Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between good and bad.
Read on up.
For who is able to judge this thy so great a people?
Start up at verse 6, Salakia.
Verse 6. And Solomon said, Thou hast showed unto thy servant David, my father, great mercy, according as he walked before thee in truth.
Read on.
And in righteousness, and in uprightness of heart.
Read on up.
And thou hast kept for him this great kindness, that thou hast given him a son to sit on his throne, as it is this day.
So we see where Solomon is praying to the Most High, and he's praying to the Most High to do what? To ask him for wisdom. He didn't ask him for riches. He didn't ask him for any of those things that are unprofitable. Why? Because when you ask for wisdom, guess what? Those things give you all those things anyway. Read on up.
Verse 7. And now, O Lord my God, Thou hast made thy servant king instead of David, my father. And I am but a little child, but I know not how to go out or come in.
Proper counsel or discernment on how to, guess what, judge matters. Read on up.
And thy servant is in the midst of thy people, which thou hast chosen, a great people.
Hey, what up?
A great people.
We are a great people. Read on up.
That cannot be numbered nor counted for multitude. Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between good and bad.
That he may do what up?
That I may discern between good and bad.
This is what we all need to pray for. That the Most High God gives us wisdom, understanding, and discernment, that we know how to judge between good and bad. Because we see a lot of brothers and sisters that, guess what, that don't know how to judge between good and bad. Read on up.
For who is able to judge this day? Well,
and this speech pleased the Lord. The Most High God was happy that he didn't ask for riches and things that are unprofitable, but he asked for something that could help him in his growth. Read on up.
And the speech pleased the Lord, that Solomon asked this thing. And God said unto him, because thou hast asked this thing, and hast not asked for thyself long life, neither hast asked riches for thyself, nor has asked the life of thine enemies, but has asked for thyself understanding to discern judgment. Behold, I have done according to thy words. Lo, I have given thee a wise and understanding heart, so that there was none like thee before thee, neither after thee shall any arise like unto thee.
So that's some heavy stuff, man. Some heavy stuff. And guess what? Brothers and sisters have that capability. Give me James chapter 1, verse 5. Yes, give me James chapter 1, verse 5. Because if brothers and sisters are lacking wisdom, what must we do to gain that wisdom? Say it again. I can't hear you. Study, that's one part of it. Because that's the action behind it. Who said it, sis? Ask for it, or meaning what? Pray for it. That's exactly right. Ask for it or pray for it.
This is the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that give it to all men liberally, and upbraid it not, and it shall be given him.
And it shall be what up?
And it shall be given him.
And it shall be given him. Twin, who is the all men there? How do you know? Is it because Brother Bilal just showed it to you? Well, why you didn't say them precepts all right there? Oh, come on, brother. I need them Bible thumpers there. So remember, just keep it short and simple. Verse 1 tells you everything. It tells you who he is talking to. Read this out.
This is the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 1. James, a servant of God, and of who? Of the Lord Yahweh Shai, to the 12 tribes.
To the who?
To the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Greetings.
And it goes with the same thing we literally just read in the book of Deuteronomy 4 and 5. He has given that wisdom to us as a nation. That is who the all men is. So when brothers and sisters are feeling like they are slipping on wisdom, brothers and sisters, even like Brother Azariah said, one of the things is, guess what? You have to get your study habits up. Because the Most High God, he is giving you that, but it comes with stipulations. You have to study, you have to read, you have to apply. That way, even like Captain Yara said, that's how he's able to prove you. And then if you are found proven right, then the Most High God starts to give you that understanding. He starts to give you that increase. Read verse 8 again. Verse 5, Salakia.
Verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that give it to all men liberally, and upbraid it not.
And take it away not. Read on up.
And it shall be given him.
Read on up.
But let him ask in faith.
But let him ask in faith. You have to believe that if you do your part, that the Most High God is going to do his part. We find out many times that, guess what? Brothers and sisters get mad, but who are you getting mad at if you are not doing your part because the Most High God is not giving you what you want? Yourself. Read it again, huh?
But let him ask in faith, Nothing wavering.
Nothing wavering. Don't be shaky in your faith. Don't be shaky in this walk. Read on out.
For he that wavered is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed.
And what up?
And tossed.
Tossed to and fro. We cannot be like that. You have to understand that, guess what? If you pray for that and you study and you apply upon those things, that the Most High God will get. And if you are sincere about those things, the Most High God will do what you are praying for. Do brothers and sisters understand that? What is the one I want? Ask not, because it's consuming. 1 John. Ask amiss. 4 and what? 16, 3? 4 and 3. James. Or what?
Yeah, it's James 4 and 3.
Read that right quick.
This is the book of James, chapter 4 and verse 3. Ye ask and receive not.
Meaning, when we pray for certain things and we don't receive it, read on.
Because ye ask amiss.
Meaning we're doing what? Asking for the wrong reasons. This is why a lot of times prayers are not being answered and they're being hindered, because we're asking for the wrong reason. Read on up.
That ye may consume it upon your lust.
That we may consume it upon our lust. A lot of times we're praying for things that we do what? That we lust after and that we are coveting after. Like we always say, Lord, please bless me with that 550 Benz. When you just need a hoorah just to get you back and forth to Sabbath class. No, I got to shine on them, Lord. I got to shine when I come up in Sabbath class. Brother, ask for that. Guess what? That Honda Accord, which is a reliable damn car. Thing reliable as hell, man. Ask for that, brother. Then guess what? The Most High God might hear you and bless that thing, man. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with brothers and sisters that are doing good in society, that the Lord have blessed you. But guess what? You don't want to covet or lust after those things or consume those things upon your lust. If you have the job that can afford that.
That's right.
Do brothers and sisters understand that? Read it again now.
Verse 3 from the top. Ye ask and receive not, because ye ask amiss, that ye may consume it upon your lust.
That we may consume it upon your lust. A lot of times we got to be in the spirit when we are asking for these things from the Most High. You got some up? Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 14. Basic precept, milk precepts. Read that out. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 14.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 13.
So like you jump up to verse. Damn, here y'all go, man. Get out my head. I hear y'all. Read this. Cap, read that. Damn it, read 6.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 6.
What you want out? Read that out.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 6. Howbeit, we speak wisdom among them that are perfect.
So we speak wisdom among them that are perfect. What is perfect according to the scriptures, twin? Or not twin? Yeah, I know you do. Soldier you call while you eating tuna fish. You got it, Junior? Let me see what your son got. What you got, Junior? What is perfect according to the Bible? Who?
He got tuna. Boy, you better have that precept.
Go ahead. Soldier, you call me, Junior. Go ahead, twin. Help him out. Psalms 19 and 7. A perfect man is a man that strives to keep the commandments of God. Read verse 6 again.
Verse 6 from the top. Howbeit, we speak wisdom among them that are perfect.
That are what?
That are perfect.
That are trying to keep the commandments of God. Read on up.
yet not the wisdom of this world.
And this is the point. So this is what we have to deal with: apologetics. They are using the wisdom of this world, and they can't understand how the Israelites are turning the world right side up again. They don't understand it. How does this man know, not having read the scriptures, not having learned in our schools? Because the Most High God is dealing with us, because guess what? We are the Israelites, man. We don't know.
Nor of the princes of this world that come to naught.
That come to what?
That come to naught.
Read on up.
But we speak the wisdom of God in a mystery.
Read on up.
Even the hidden wisdom.
Even the hidden mystery, because they are really trying to come after precept upon precept. That is a hidden mystery that they do not understand, even though they themselves still use it.
Stupid. Stupid. We're going to go to Baltimore with them. Stupid.
It's crazy. Even though they still use it. When you bringing up historical accounts, what do? You flip back to the old. That's all that y'all doing. When you want to know who that world was, or that fiery serpent, what do they do when you have to go to John 3:16? You got to go back to Numbers 21:6.
That's right.
You got to understand that history. That is precept upon precept, line upon line. Get a verse from the New Testament that matches up with a verse in the Old. But that's speaking wisdom in a mystery. Read on up.
But we speak the wisdom of God in a mystery.
Read on up.
Even the hidden wisdom.
Even the hidden wisdom. Read on up.
Which God ordained before the world unto our glory.
Read on up.
Which none of the princes of this world knew.
They don't know, and they don't understand these things. That's why when we're out there on the streets, we're undefeated with the truth of the Bible. That's why it's very important that brothers be in the spirit out there, that we're striving to keep the commandments. Do we have downfalls? Yes, but we're not making a pattern of sin. This is the point. Christians still don't understand that either. Read on up.
For had they known it, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory.
Read on up.
But as it is written, I had not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which God had prepared for them that love him.
Read on.
But God had revealed them unto us by his spirit.
By his what?
By his spirit.
The spirit is what? His words in this Bible. John 6:63. Read on up.
For the spirit searcheth all things.
Searcheth some things.
Searcheth all things.
Read on up.
Yea, the deep things of God.
Yea, the deep things of the Most High, because it's very deep things in the Bible. Even like how we were saying, we just thought it was necessary that we kind of touch in this class. No, Officer Donovan wanted to touch back over the 70 weeks in Daniel chapter 9. I'm like, yeah, eventually we will get to that, but we always got to do what? Go back to the basics. Go back to the milk. Read on up.
Verse 10. But God had revealed them unto us by his spirit. For the spirit searcheth all things, yea, the deep things of God.
Read on up.
For what man knoweth the things of man, save the spirit of man, which is in him.
Because the Most High God gives us that discerning spirit once we're in tune with the Bible to see what type of spirit a brother or sister is dealing with, what type of spirit that they have on them. Go ahead, up.
And that word save, what does that say? Word save mean? Any brother or sister know? It says, for what man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of man which is in him. Except that spirit be in you, you're not going to have that understanding, man, right? Go ahead. I just wanted to let y'all know that. Make sure you put that word. That's heavy.
That's right.
It gives you better understanding of that scripture. Read. Well,
no, you right. Read.
Bring it out. Read.
Verse 11. For what man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of man.
Save the spirit of man. Read on.
Which is in him. Even so the things of God knoweth no man, but the spirit of God.
But the spirit of God. Read on up.
Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the spirit which is of God, that we might know the things that are freely given to us of God.
Because what does the spirit of this world tell us to do, Brother Fred?
Well, tell us the laws are done away with.
That's right. The spirit of this world tells us that the laws are done away with. Sister Destiny, while you even cooking this, what the spirit tell us? The spirit of this world also tells us. What you think, sis? You know it. Go ahead. Jesus is God. That's another great one. That is a great one because the Trinity doctrine is heavily pushed. We don't give a dang about it because we know it's not of the Most High. What's another one, Sister Adiva? Christ loves everyone. What's another one, twin?
Christ is white.
Christ is white. What's another one, Daoud? That's right. What's another one, sis? We can eat pork. This is the spirit of the world. Read on up.
Verse 13, which things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom teacheth.
Man's wisdom is what? Theology. It's going into what? Cemetery school. Read on up.
But which the Holy Ghost teacheth.
Which the Holy Ghost, meaning the laws of the Most High, gives us spiritual understanding to guess what? To discern what is what in the scriptures. Who also had a great discernment in the scriptures? Who had a great discernment? Christ. Christ also had a great discernment in the scriptures. Who else had a great discernment in the scriptures? Who? Solomon, like how we read what you say, Paul. Who else? Did no sisters have no great discernment? Who? Esther. Who else had a great discernment? Anna, Abigail, these sisters, Susanna. That's right. These sisters had great wisdom as well. And guess what? They are also Israelites. So this wisdom is upon all the people of Israel, whether or not brothers and sisters apply this. Let's get Christ. Let's go to the book of John chapter 2, verse 23. We'll come right back. Christ had a great discernment. Great discernment. That's a discernment that we all need to be trying to esteem too. You can exercise your spiritual discernment, meaning work them things out to get them pumped up, man. Yeah, read that out.
This is the book of John, chapter 2, and verse 23. Now, when he was in Jerusalem at the Passover.
At the what?
At the Passover.
No, at Easter.
At the Passover.
So we see that Christ kept Passover. Read on up.
And the feast day, many believed in his name.
Many believed in Christ's name. That's another precept that brothers can underline. It was many people that believed in Christ's name, not just the 12. Read on.
When they saw the miracles, which he did.
When they saw the miracles that he did, and that's a cut. So our brother, man, we love, but Christ did miracles, man.
That's right.
Wasn't no damn witchcraft. It's crazy, man. And brothers think. Read on, man.
But Yahushua did not commit himself unto them.
But Christ did not commit himself unto them. Read on up.
Because he knew all men.
When it says that he knew all men, he was what?
Discerning.
Had a high level of discernment. A high level of discernment. He knew men that he could be around. Guess what? He knew men that he what? Couldn't be around. And this is the discernment that brothers and sisters have to apply in this particular time, in this day and age. Knowing what people you can and cannot be around. And we know a lot of times we're talking about who? Family members. The close ones. Family members, man. Because that'll hit you the hardest because we know that we were raised with them. We grew up with them. They took care of us. We understand that. But when it comes to us and worshiping and serving our God, guess what? Nothing goes over that. Not papa, not grandma, not mama, not daddy, not aunties, uncles, not even children. This is a level of discernment that guess what? We need to pray for. Read it again, verse 24.
Verse 24 from the top. But Yahushua did not commit himself unto them because he knew all men.
Because he knew all men. He had a high level of discernment. Read on up.
And needed not that any should testify of man. For he knew what was in man.
For he knew. He had discretion and discernment what was in man. He knew their thoughts and the intent of their heart. He knew those things. Another example. Go to the book of Matthew chapter 15. Now this- Read verse. Is that what I want? Read verse 1.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15, and verse 1. Then came to Yahushua scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread.
So we see where the scribes and the Pharisees was once again trying to catch Christ up in the scriptures. And this is a point to where they was trying to do what? Traditions of man versus what? Versus the commandments of God. Read on up.
But he answered and said unto them, why do ye also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition?
By what?
By your tradition.
And he knew and he was able to discern. Guess what? This is what they was pushing. This is what is still pushed today. A lot of times our people do what? We'll forsake God to do what? To keep the traditions of men. We do it all the time when it comes to your birthdays. When it comes to, guess what? Sabbath days. When it comes to, guess what? Passover, tabernacles. Oh, I can't go out there. It's too many bugs. You better get over that bug fear. Or Christ is going to bug you out. Or the Most High God is going to bug you out. It's just being honest, man. Hey, we cannot put these things above what the Most High God has already established for us. And if you have discernment, you'll understand that. That if you know that you, in fact, have a fear of bugs, hey, pray to the Most High. Put some spiritual off on me, Lord. But I'm going to tell you, you got to be doing your part too. You can't be wicked as hell. You're going to put a spider up in your tent. Read on up.
Verse 4. For God commanded, saying, honor thy father and mother, and he that curseth father or mother, let him die the death. But ye say, whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, it is a gift.
It is a gift, going and let him make it. Read on up.
But whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me, and honor not his father or mother, he shall be free. Thus have ye made the commandment of God of none effect.
And that's what our people do. By keeping the traditions of men, we make the commandment of God to none effect. Let's get another account. You got some up?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 12, and verse number 22. That's why it's pivotal to read Christ, to read the book of Matthew, to read where Christ was going into parables. Christ could give you a new level of understanding and discernment. Being able to watch out for certain spirits that can, guess what? That can pull you out of the spirit. Because that's what your level of discernment is for. It's a weapon to be able to, guess what? Pull you from that evil that you foresee come. Do brothers and sisters understand that? Read this right quick, Op.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 22.
Uh-huh.
Then was brought unto him one possessed with a devil, blind and dumb.
Uh-huh.
And he healed him, insomuch that the blind and dumb both spake and saw.
So we see where Christ was constantly healing the people from certain spirits that they dealt with. Read on up.
And all the people were amazed and said, is not this the son of David?
Uh-huh.
But when the Pharisees heard it, they said, this fellow doth not cast out devils, but by Beelzebub, the prince of the devils.
So we see that the scribes and the Pharisees once again hating on Christ. Now, who in the hell would hate a man that took a spirit, a dumb, deaf spirit off a brother or a sister? Man, that was some, I'm going to tell you, that was some all-time level high hating right there, man. Read on up.
Verse 25. And Yahushua knew their thoughts.
And he did what up?
And Yahushua knew their thoughts.
He was able to discern that, man. Read on up.
And said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation.
Uh-huh.
And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand.
And he's giving them game that they didn't even realize. Meaning, while you hating on me, you bringing a division between us. This our kingdom going to be destroyed. Because you seeing me do great things. And that's a lot of times we have that even in a lot of times, brothers, they hate him that rebuke it in the gate. Brothers and sisters, I'm gonna tell you, that's also a high level of discernment that brothers and sisters have to get up. People don't like when you letting that light shine, but you have to let it shine no less, man. Read on out.
Verse 26. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand?
So Christ is straight cutting them. Read on out.
And if I, by Beelzebub, cast out devils, by whom do your children cast them out?
For real, read on out.
Therefore they shall be your judges.
And that's right, because you deserve that judgment, man. Read on out.
But if I cast out devils by the Spirit of God, then the kingdom of God is come unto you.
And that's the point. When we do these things, we do these things by the Spirit of the Most High. That's how you know that these things are of God. Meaning when we go out there and teach by us being undefeated, that comes by the Spirit of the Most High. That is not by us. That's why we give all glory and praises to the Most High and to his son Yahushua. We deserve nothing. We are only just vessels, but we are vessels that have to be in order with the commandments. Go ahead, Ak.
I like how you put that too, because that's exactly what the scribes and Pharisees were haters, man.
For real.
They were straight hating on the Most High God, man. Hamashiach. The same thing was given account in Matthew chapter 9. I was going to read that, but let's go to Matthew 16, because Christ knew their thoughts, right? Before they even wanted to try to bring it up, he knew their thoughts. I know where you're going with this. I know where you're going, right? You're hating, right? I understand. You're hating on me. It's fine. But start at... you start from the top of 16. But I know you're going back to 2 Corinthians, right? Okay.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 16, and verse 1. The Pharisees also with the Sadducees came, and tempting desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. He answered and said unto them, when it is even, ye say, it will be fair weather, for the sky is red.
When it's evening, you say it's going to be fair weather, right? Because you can see that the sky is kind of red, right? Read.
And in the morning, it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering,
right? Kind of looking like it might do something. It might rain, right? Read.
O ye hypocrites.
O ye what?
O ye hypocrites. Ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times?
And that's heavy, man. I mean, that's heavy, because Christ is showing them that, hey, you can discern everything else. This is going into what that we just read in 2 Corinthians 2. But it's a specific verse in 2 Corinthians 2 that he said. 1 Corinthians, Salakia. Because when we outside, you can see the clouds kind of coming, right? Get a little dark. You see some darker clouds. Yes, all praises out. And that's the thing about it. You can discern the wisdom of the world, but the wisdom of the Most High God, you have no understanding, right? We go outside, we look at it's going to be a beautiful day today, right? Oh, it might rain today. We see these clouds rolling up, right? That's the wisdom of the world. And this is what Christ is telling the scribes and Pharisees, that y'all are what? Hypocrites, because that's the discernment that you got. Well, we know that the Bible wants us to have discernment of the Most High God. Go back to 1 Corinthians right quick. I know I'm going back. But he called them hypocrites, man, haters, right? Y'all do everything else, right? You can discern, this say we ate with Thanksgiving, but you can't discern that from the beginning I gave you a decree that this is unclean, right? It's just crazy. 1 Corinthians 2 and read. I want verse 10, I think.
Verse 10.
Let me get back to it.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 10. But God had revealed them unto us by his Spirit. For the Spirit searcheth all things, yea, the deep things of God.
So the Spirit of God searches all things, the deep things of God. Read verse 11.
Verse 11. For what man knoweth the things of man, of a man, save the spirit of man?
Except the spirit of man that is what?
Save the spirit of man, which is in him. Even so the things of God knoweth no man, but the Spirit of God.
So the Bible says that we don't know the things of God, save the Spirit of God. How is it that we don't know the things of God, but we know the Spirit of God? By his word. But what is that Spirit of God that we know? Because it said we don't know the things of God, right? But it says we know save the Spirit of God. What is that Spirit of God that we know? Righteousness, right? I like that. Keeping the commandments. Go to Romans real quick, 8. Read start at verse 6. Romans 8 and 6.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 6. For to be carnally minded
Uh-huh.
is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
So that's why we always want to be in that spirit, because spiritually minded is peace, right? That's what we said. We didn't start living until we got into this truth, right? So we started keeping the commandments. That was the peace that the Lord gave us. Read on.
Because the carnal mind is enmity against God.
Uh-huh.
For it is not subject to the law of God.
For it is not what?
Subject to the law of God.
So this is the spirit of God that we know. Carnal minded is not subject to what? The laws of the Most High God. What the Lord tells us that we don't know is his ways, but we know the spiritual side of what he wants, right? Which is us keeping the laws. Read that again.
Verse 7. Because the carnal mind is enmity against God. For it is not subject to the law of God.
Uh-huh.
Neither indeed can be.
So this is how we can be spiritually discerned with Christians, right? And we understand, hey, we already know that y'all are not on the right path, because the Lord said we know through the Spirit what we should be doing, which is the righteous rehearsals or these righteous acts. When we go to Romans 8 right here in 7, it says distinctly that thing that we do know of the Spirit of God is the law, right? That is the law that we are spiritually understanding that we must do, coming back into who we are. Just wanted to touch that real quick, show y'all, because when you read over scriptures, sometimes it need to hit you like, man, we don't know the things of God, but we know the Spirit. The Spirit of God is him giving us the law, statutes, and the commandments, like I went to in Deuteronomy 4, 5, and 6, that makes us that great nation, right? Go ahead, Al.
Let's go back to 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse number 14.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned.
Because they are what up?
Because they are spiritually discerned.
Read verse 14. I'm finna ask the questions. Brothers and sisters should already know. See what y'all level of discernment is. Read that again.
Verse 14 from the top. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned.
Where did we just read that at? What is the word? What two words link up? Let me hear what you got, Ezekiel. No. Damn, I thought you had it. Any sisters can catch it. What two words link up? What you got, Sister Adiba? She brave enough to come on, sis. Let me hear what you got. Remember, say it again. What you got, Sister Bosh? And what? No, damn. No, damn, Sister Bosh. I thought you had it. What you got, Brother Bala? The carnal man and the natural man. These are saying the same. Remember as we teach y'all, remember the scriptures are not saying nothing different. It is only using what? Different words. Remember, you have two words that mean what? The same thing. So you have, read verse 14.
Verse 14 from the top. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God.
The natural man and the carnal man is the same thing. The carnal man is enmity with the Most High. Was that what you're going to say, Brother Ezekiel? Come. Carnal man, natural man, same thing. The sinful man, meaning the man that the Most High God is not dealing with. Because a lot of times, even like Captain Yara is going over, we have to see these things with spiritual eyes. A lot of times when we ask, in prime example, we always use this. We out there talking and teaching the sisters. We like, sisters, do you know that the Most High God don't like you wearing pants? And sisters like, why? You know, they don't see that because they have the wisdom of this world. But with our spiritual eyes, we know a woman wearing pants puts a what spirit on her? A masculine spirit on a sister. And she can't see that right off the bat. That's why it's pivotal that sisters come in, see sisters dressed modestly, appropriately. Then we pose certain questions to sister. Don't you feel more feminine when you're in a dress? Sister, when you ever see princesses, do you ever see them in pants? Then it's like, damn, no, you're right. You know, you're right. I'm talking about, boy, if that ain't a masculine spirit, man, it literally does put a masculine spirit on you. And it's the flip side. When we see men in dresses, it puts a what spirit? Come on, man. If we could easily discern that a man wearing a dress is not right, come on, man. We could easily discern that, guess what? Women in pants is the same thing. Read that out. Read on.
Verse 14 from the top. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him.
For they are foolishness unto him. Read on up.
Neither can he know them.
Neither do he understand. Read on up.
Because they are spiritually discerned.
And this is where our people have to grow from. We have to grow from being spiritually discerned, meaning not able to make a difference on how we should move, on when and when not. That guess what? We should counsel with leaders. When you are dealing with certain things, when you have spirits on you, and even in that, knowing when you have a demon on you, that comes with discernment as well. Do brothers and sisters understand that? Wow. Lord, I deal with something. Please, can you take this off of me? A lot of times, brothers and sisters know that they deal with certain things and are not praying to the Most High God to get those things fixed. Hey, man, I'm gonna tell you, man, we have to utilize the words, man, because it's strong demons out here. When we talk about demons, think about it. Spirits that have been, these demons are ancient. Older than we are, so they know our likes, dislikes. They know our pushing buttons. They know what. Guess what? Well, how we can be easily influenced. Read on up.
Verse 15. But he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judged of no man.
Say, I'm gonna tell you, man. There's some people with some demons like that. I'm talking about some strong demons, and we see them a lot of times downtown. A lot of times we. Brothers and sisters, you see that outside person, but no, we looking at that spirit that's in you. Prime example, that brother that wanted to actually shoot the brothers for taking up for him against Esau. Right. Not knowing that, guess what? Captain Yara is like, brother, we letting you know that you're above them. Why would you want to be equal to them? That brother had that particular demon. Go back to that other one. That one right there, that goofy, dumb Negro demon. Talking about for real. We know even when we see that, we could just put it in our mind like certain brothers and sisters that had that particular spirit on them.
Brothers, y'all remember at camp, the brother was doing the same thing, laughing, ha, and all the way, just last Sabbath, right? Before he tried to talk about he was going to pull a gun, right? He had that same kind of spirit on him, laughing, joking, you nigga.
It reminds me of that time when I was teaching and the brother slickly grabbed the mic from me. And this brother I'm bigger than this brother. And me and Captain Yari trying to get the mic from him. He was just doing this. Captain Yari had his arm, had his arm bent back. Man, Captain Yari like, we could not take the mic from this brother. I'm talking about had a demon man. We like, damn, we had to almost break this brother arm to get the damn mic from him. Later, he came back and he knew. About an hour later, he was like, man, I apologize. It's like, bro, you ain't even got to apologize. We already know what was on you. A demon jumped on you. talking about these things are powerful. Brothers and sisters have to utilize prayer and fasting. We was laughing out, but it at the end of the matter, but it wasn't no laughing matter. That brother had a demon on him.
And I'm gonna tell you, that's why you never let your guard down, because the brother had been out there for a while,
For real.
at least 45 minutes to an hour, just straight listening. All of a sudden, something triggered him, and he just went into straight demon mode. That demon popped on him. He just snatched the mic. We had our guards down. We wasn't ready.
That's
I wasn't
right.
ready. But yeah, he was strong.
And I'm gonna tell you, that brother came back not too long ago. I don't know if y'all was out there. And he kind of pulled me to the side. He was like, man, my bad. I'm like, you ain't got to keep apologizing. He was like, man, was these brothers here that seen me do that? I see a lot of new brothers. I hope none of these brothers know that was me. I'm like, it's a new brother, but they still remember who you are. They remember you. And the shame that the brother felt because he knew that a demon was on him.
And that's what, about 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was, man.
The shame that brother still carried with him, man. Because that's the spirit. The Most High God put that spirit in his life, man. That was wrong, man, right? And that brother still came back. I got there a little late.
Yeah.
You told me he had just left. You're like,
Read verse 15 again.
Verse 15 from the top. But he that is spiritual, judgeth all things.
Read that again.
But he that is spiritual, judgeth all things.
No, I can't judge.
But he that is spiritual, judgeth all things.
Read on now.
Yet he himself is judged of no man.
What does that second part mean? Any brother or sister? What does the second part? Any brother?
but he himself is judge of no man.
Go ahead, twin.
If he's doing the judging, that means he's keeping the commandments, so you really can't judge him.
That's right. That's exactly what that means. It is no law that he is.
I want to hear you say there is no law against keeping the commandments, but I feel you. Yeah.
There is no law that you can bring against him in judgment because he is keeping the commandments.
That's right.
Because that's what being spiritual is. But when we say that word spiritual to a Christian, they think it's Big Mama doing the Harlem Shake. No, that is just Big Mama keeping the commandments. They don't see that because they are what? Spiritually discerned. Read on up.
Verse 16. For who had known the mind of the Lord, that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of Christ.
But we have the mind of Christ, man. Let's get another famous brother, man. Let's go to the book of Nehemiah. Because Nehemiah had great discernment. Nehemiah chapter 6 and start at verse number 10. So who can give us the back history? Kobe, give me the back history. What did he got him slipping. Brother, I seen you. You ain't, brother, you think you slick? You actually think you slick. A little bit of I ain't got no discernment.
Think we not spiritually discerned up here, brother?
This brother here. But you don't think I seen when you try to snatch them headphones off? That's all right. He already know what's going down. Got him. Yeah, he already know. Twin said suspended.
Not today.
Now he stopped laughing quick as hell on that. Damn, brother. Let's go to the book. Who can give us a rundown? Nehemiah was in what time period? Persian to me, what year? 539, 538 BC. 538 years before Christ walked the scene. And Nehemiah was doing what? Rebuilding the temple, rebuilding the wall. Read verse 10.
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 6 and verse 10. Afterward, I came unto the house of Shemaiah, the son of Delaiah, the son of Mehetabel,
Yep.
who was shut up. And he said, let us meet together in the house of God within the temple.
So this man was claiming he wanted to seek counsel from Nehemiah. Read on up.
And let us shut the doors of the temple, for they will come to slay thee. Yea, in the night will they come to slay thee.
So he coming to Nehemiah to supposedly try to give him a heads up on a plot that someone is going to kill Nehemiah. Read on up.
And I said, should such a man as I flee?
He said, what am I? A man of the Most High God gonna be afraid and run away? Read on.
And who is there that being as I am, who go into the temple to save his life? I will not go in.
And who is me as a man trying to rebuild the temple to save our life that is not going to go in? Read on up.
And lo, I perceived that God had not sent him.
How did he perceive that the Most High God did not send him? I'm going to see what brother knows. That's one of them, but in the direct context, because what was Shemaiah trying to do? What you got, Brother Bilal? That's the point. He was trying to stop him from doing the work of the Lord. When have we ever seen in the scriptures the Most High God stopped us from doing the work of the Lord? None. You don't read about that. That's why you have scriptures in there concerning what? Slothfulness. Guess what? Making excuses. That's why you see particular verses in there. So Nehemiah perceived that he hadn't seen him because he knows that the Most High God is what? All about doing the work. Do brothers and sisters understand that? That's why we have sisters putting in work when they doing what? Bringing the lunches, fixing the meals, serving the food for brothers and sisters in the high holy days. Brothers helping clean the building. Officer Canaan setting up things for, guess what? Inspections. This is doing the work of the Most High, man. So he automatically. Read that again, verse 12.
Verse 12. And lo, I perceived that God had not sent him.
Read on,
but that he pronounced this prophecy against me. For Tobiah and Sanballat had hired him.
For Tobiah and Sanballat had hired him. So we had other nations hiring our people to do what? To stop us from doing this work. We see that all on YouTube, all on TikTok today. Now we seeing brothers that are supposedly Israelites. We knowing of a few brothers that literally have taken the bag or have been paid off to, guess what? Now come against this truth. Read on,
Therefore was he hired, that I should be afraid.
Read on,
and do so in sin.
And what?
In sin.
Read on,
and that they might have a matter for an evil report, that they might reproach me.
So this is where we have to be able to use, guess what? These particular examples to be able to discern when certain spirits or certain persons are trying to do what? Trying to get us from stop doing the work. What's a spirit coming into the Sabbath that stops brothers and sisters from doing the work? That's one. What you have a little bit of eye? Work. That is one. That's a good one. What's another one? What's a spirit? And we know brothers and sisters don't encounter them. So y'all don't encounter these spirits Friday, sundown?
For real. What's the main? What we looking for?
What you got, Sister Adaba? Sickness. What you have, Brother Azariah? Tired. We know these particular things. I'm just not feeling it.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking for one though. What is it, Hood? Sleep.
What you have?
We know that.
Weather is a one. Because brothers and sisters is drizzling.
Hey
outside.
man, this rainy. Y'all think we're going to camp? Negro.
Hey.
No, you going to class Negro style.
Who we talking about? Move. Hey,
first head.
Hold on. It don't even matter. You throw one at him, I'm gonna throw one at the other. So it don't even matter.
Got a little rain out there. I think we're going to class today. Boy.
I'm talking about when Twin put that in the mail, I'll be about to come through the messenger on that mug. Say it again. Say it again, nigga.
It was a joke one time.
You better put LOL in that mug.
Yeah. Laugh out loud, jokey.
Because I ain't lying. Brothers waiting at the door for your ass, boy. It's like, yeah.
Wait till Twin come right here. Negro, I'm talking about, it was damn near sleep. And I'm like, we going to play it out and wait. I'm like, yeah, I feel you. Because we going to try to get up in this thing, even if we get here. And y'all watch it at home. We trying to get in this thing. But I'm looking for one. And y'all should know this, man. Especially those that I don't want to give it away.
You might have to.
What y'all think?
What you say? Say it
Or
again.
yes. Yes.
Husband and wives arguing.
You get that one argument. Wake up Saturday morning, y'all look at each other. And go get your shirt ain't earned. You like, I earned my own shirt. Okay, that's how you want to play it. All right, I'm gonna stay in the spirit. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Clear that pad. Now my sister, look, damn. Not my sister back there. All praise, sis.
Shirt ain't earned. You like,
And then didn't purposely earn the collar. No, yeah. Hey, those are real spirits, though. Especially, like we said, between husband and wives. Also, with family members that are in the house versus family members that are in the truth versus family members that's not in the truth. That can hinder the walk as well. But those things always exclusively go up under family members to stop brothers and sisters. So we have to learn to discern those things. Like that's what we always tell brothers and sisters. Yes, go to the book of History of Susanna.
oh, I did real
Go ahead.
quick. Verse 13. Read that again, Nehemiah.
Verse 13. Therefore was he hired that I should be afraid and do so and sin.
And sin, how was he gonna be in sin? Real quick, brothers. Huh? Fear. So he's showing you that fear is sin, right? What's the precept? Oh, praises. 1 Timothy 1:7. Make sure you put that. We ain't going there, but just wanted to make sure y'all see that to show that fear is sin. 2 Timothy. You said first? Yeah, 2 Timothy.
Let's go to the book of the History of Susanna. Any sisters read the History of Susanna? Raise your hands. Let me see. See sisters. This is a great read. A good read. To just go back over, Sister Susanna had a great report of being righteous. She also was very, very beautiful. And we had two wicked Israelite niggas coveted her so bad that they attempted to SA her. And they also brought up wrong counsel concerning her to where she was going to be put to death. But the Most High God rose up Daniel, and also by her good report in the congregation, like, sister has such a good report that guess what? I'm not believing this. These niggas here are wicked as hell. And Daniel put them to the test. Because it's certain things that sisters must do when it concerns Salakia SA. And I know that this is a heavy subject, but it is certain things. Do sisters understand what they are? Because we do have to cover this. It's all right if sisters don't. What should a sister do? Do you know? Yes. So are sisters with me? So in cases of SA, sisters should scream out and holler. This is literally according to the law. Do sisters understand that? This is what she did. Let's start from verses. I'll get a little bit of context. Start at verse 23.
This is the book of the History of Susanna, chapter 1, and verse 23.
Start at verse 22.
Verse 22. Then Susanna sighed and said, I am straitened on every side.
Because they was cutting her off. It was two brothers, two wicked damn brothers. Brothers wicked as hell. Page 110. For brothers and sisters that don't know, page 110 in the Apocrypha. 20.
Yeah, can we start at 20?
Verse 20. Behold, the garden doors are shut, that no man can see us, and we are in love with thee. Therefore consent unto us, and lie with us.
So they was trying to get the sister to lie with her, consent. Let's see what sis said. Read on.
If thou would not, we will bear witness against thee, that a young man was with thee, and therefore thou didst send away thy maids from thee.
So now you have the wicked Negroes plotting against the sister. I'm talking about wicked as hell. And these things do occur. These things most definitely occur. Read on up.
Then Susanna sighed and said, I am straitened on every side.
Read on up.
For if I do this thing, it is death unto me.
So she let him know, hey, if I do this thing, it is death unto me. Read on up.
And if I do it not, I cannot escape your hands.
And if I don't, I cannot escape your hands. So sometimes, guess what? Sisters will be put between a rock and a hard spot. Brothers will be put between a rock and a hard spot. leaders will be put between a rock and a hard spot. Even like how Captain Yar was bringing out with the day of Simon when they had captured who? When they captured.
It is better for me to fall into your hands and not do it than to sin in the sight of the Lord.
You see what the sister did? Sis stood bold. She like, hey, if y'all doing that, guess what? I'd rather fall into the hands of the Lord, man. Right. Read it again.
Verse 23. It is better for me to fall into your hands and not do it.
And not do it, not go through and consent. Read on.
Than to sin in the sight of the Lord.
Than to sin in the sight of the Lord. So sis stood bold in righteousness. Read on up.
With that, Susanna cried with a loud voice, and the two elders cried out against her.
So sis did what she was supposed to do. She cried out like, help, help. These brothers in her. Where did she get that from? Go to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 25. So we say this even for the younger sisters, like we say, that are listening, that are in class, like we say, putting in certain situations, especially when you're going off to college. We want sisters need this discernment, and this is what the fathers is for, to explain this. Don't put yourself in those particular situations where you know that you are left alone, possibly with many men around. Don't do that. Yes, the men should not be doing it, but these niggas out here are wicked as hell in these days. I'm talking about wicked as hell, man. Do not have the discernment, have the wisdom not to put yourselves in these particular types of situations. Not saying that Sister Susanna did it. We just saying it for overall outlook. Read this out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and a man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die.
So we see that, guess what? Rape, according to the Bible, is murder. It is murder, straight up and straight down. Read on up.
But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter.
Even so is this matter, showing you that slaying your brother is the same as sexual assault. Read on up.
For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried.
And the betrothed damsel did what?
Cried.
So we know crying, being forced upon, is going into what? Not wanted advancements. This is what you are commanded to do. Read on up.
The betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her.
And there was none to save her. Not in this instance. Well, we did have an instance to where she was able to get away. All praise to the Most High. But this is what sisters are to do in these terrible circumstances. Do sisters understand? Go back to the book of history, Susanna. Jump down to verse 27.
Verse 27. But when the elders had declared their matter, the servants were greatly ashamed, for there was never such a report made of Susanna.
So they were ashamed because they had never had, Sister Susanna had never had any problems amongst the congregation. She had a spotless reputation. Not saying that should make a point. Wrong is wrong. But remember, when you have a spotless report, guess what? That helps in your favor. Jump over to verse 42. Thanks.
Verse 42. Then Susanna cried out with a loud voice and said, O everlasting God, that knowest the secrets and knowest all things before they be.
Now start up at verse 40.
Verse 40. But having taken this woman, we asked who the young man was, but she would not tell us. These things do we testify.
So this is what the elders are bringing up a report against her. Read on up.
Then the assembly believed them as those that were the elders and judges of the people.
So we see that the elders and the judges of the people, guess what? They weren't too bright as well. They didn't have spiritual discernment. So this is where brothers and sisters also have to, guess what? Have a level of discernment to whether or not brothers and sisters are making righteous decisions. Even, guess what? Leaders as well, man. That's why you always see us doing what? Going to the scriptures. We keep it short and simple. Brother, did you do that? Sister, did you do that? And if you understand that you did that, guess what? We bring out the scriptures concerning the correction within that. So we let the Most High God do the judging. Do brothers and sisters understand that?
God.
And that lines up with Deuteronomy, right? Chapter 1, where it talks about the leaders being what? In that judgment seat. But the Bible said, God said, if it's too hard for thee, what, bring it to me.
That's right.
What is Sister Susanna doing right now? She's praying to the Father, taking it to him, right?
That's right.
Because the elders and the and those, like I said, that sit in the judgment seat, they ain't too bright either. They got a couple screws missing too, right? They light bulb dim as hell. So sister done did what? Took it to the Lord. Now, if it's too hard for them, the Bible says take it to thee. So that's how you take it to the Father, by praying to him, right?
That's right.
Giving it to him. Go ahead.
Verse 42.
So they condemned her to death. Then Susanna cried out with a loud voice and said, O everlasting God, that knowest the secrets and knoweth all things before they be.
Read on.
Thou knowest that they have borne false witness against me. And behold, I must die. Whereas I never did such things as these men have maliciously invented against me.
Read on.
And the Lord heard her voice. Therefore, when she was led to be put to death, the Lord raised up the Holy Spirit of a young youth whose name was Daniel.
So it's letting you know that the prophet Daniel and Susanna was what? In the same timeline. Contemporaries. He raised up the spirit of Daniel, man. All praises. Read on up.
Who cried with a loud voice, I am clear from the blood of this woman.
Hey, Daniel used what? Wisdom. He used wisdom in that account to do what? To get their attention. Like, what this nigga talking about? Read it again, up.
Who cried with a loud voice, I am clear from the blood of this woman.
Read on, up.
Then all the people turned them toward him and said, what mean these words that thou hast spoken?
Read on, up.
So he standeth in the midst of them and said, are ye such fools, ye sons of Israel?
Are ye such fools, O ye sons of Israel? Read on, up.
That without examination or knowledge of the truth, ye have condemned a daughter of Israel?
Hey, that is a heavy point, because they did what? They didn't understand, and they did what? And they rebuked. The scripture in the book of Sirach, chapter 11 and 7 tells you to what? Understand first, then rebuke. Meaning you have to get both sides of the matter. You have to hear both sides of the matter before you can make a righteous judgment. You have to take all things into consideration. Wait a minute, this sister ain't never had a report ever. And you see sister's a nice looking sister, and you see these brothers over here. Read on, up.
Verse 49, return again to the place of judgment, for they have borne false witness against her.
So guess what? Daniel stood up as a mediator between the situation. Read on, up.
Wherefore all the people turned again in haste, and the elder said unto him, come sit down among us and show it us, seeing God had given thee the honor of an elder. Then said Daniel unto them, put these two aside, one far from another, and I will examine them.
Hey, a lot of times, guess what? Bruce, we have to follow that. Right. We hear in certain situations where, guess what? Two brothers, three brothers trying to come against another brother. Guess what? You examine them separately. Because then they trying to do what? Conjoin statements together. Hey, we're going to go in and say it like this, brother. No. Y'all thinking y'all is, brother, you finna get examined in the office. And then you're going to be out here. Read on up.
Verse 52. So when they were put asunder one from another, he called one of them and said unto him, O thou that art waxing old in wickedness. Now
I'm going to tell you. That's funny as hell. Read it again.
Verse 52. So when they were put asunder one from another, he called one of them and said unto him, O thou that art waxing old in wickedness.
O thou old wicked nigga. Read on.
All right, listen here, old nigga. I know you wicked. I mean, it's like a movie that you can play it out, man. Close that door. All right, listen, wicked nigga.
Read on up.
Now thy sins, which thou hast committed aforetime, are come to light.
Read on.
But thou hast pronounced false judgment, and hast condemned the innocent, and has let the guilty go free. Albeit, the Lord said, the innocent and righteous shalt thou not slay.
The innocent and righteous shalt thou not slay. Read on up.
Now then, if thou hast seen her, tell me, under what tree sawest
So now he getting down to the nitty gritty. Under what tree? Now he pressing them. He examining the matter. Read on up.
Now then, if thou hast seen her, tell me, under what tree sawest thou them company together?
Read on.
Who answered, under a mystic tree.
He answered a mystic tree. Read on up.
And Daniel said, very well, thou hast lied against thine own head.
Yeah, nigga. Now I got you. Y'all already know what's the equivalence, even in that minister society.
No,
you done messed up, right? So you said you was at the shop at 10 a.m. Right?
It was under the mystic tree.
Under the mystic tree, not the chestnut tree.
Right. Mystic tree.
He examining the matter. Read on up.
And Daniel said, very well, thou hast lied against thine own head. For even now the angel of God have received the sentence of God to cut thee in two.
Man, read on up.
So he put him aside and commanded to bring the other, and said unto him, O thou seed of Canaan.
Oh, thou what?
Seed of Canaan.
So he called him a seed of Canaan. He called him an African, man. Read on up.
And not of Judah. Beauty had deceived thee, and lust had perverted thine heart.
Lust have perverted thine heart. So we wanted to just kind of go over this to show you both sides of the spectrum. Even how the sister did what? Use wisdom. How she followed the law wholeheartedly, and she was what? Saved out of that situation. Even like Captain Yara said, when guess what? You can't get no righteous judgment, even amongst leaders. Did you do what? You take it to the Most High. And we see sister do that, and the Most High God did what? Raised up a righteous prophet named who? Named Daniel. And guess what? Saved that sister out of that situation. To 63.
Verse 60,
No, start at 59.
verse 59. Then said,
58.
58. Now therefore tell me, under what tree didst thou take them company together? Who answered, under a home tree.
Under a who tree?
Under a home tree.
So the other witness said under a home tree, and the other one said under what tree? A mastic tree. So he's saying that their stories are what? Not lining up. Read on up.
Then said Daniel unto him, well, thou hast also lied against thine own head, for the angel of God waited with the sword too, cut thee in two, that he may destroy you. With that, all the assembly cried out with a loud voice and praised God, who saved them that trust in him.
Who saved them that what?
That trust in him.
And we have to understand that. That's why discernment and wisdom is, like we said, that's why we focusing in. With discernment and wisdom, the Most High God is able to save you out of any situation. Jump down to verse 63.
Verse 63. Therefore Chelcias and his wife praised God for their daughter Susanna, with Joachim, her husband.
Read on up.
And all the kindred, because there was no dishonesty found in her.
Read on up.
From that day forth was Daniel had in great reputation in the sight of the people.
And when brothers and sisters are able to judge great soul matters, that guess what? That gives you a great reputation in Israel, man. That was a great thing. Let's go to another account. Let's go to 1 Samuel. Is that what I want? 1 Samuel chapter 25 and verse 3. Going into the account of Abigail. Like I say, we bring these particular situations out, these sisters, so sisters could go back and study and apply their discretion and wisdom as their foremothers have.
This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 25 and verse 3. Now the name of the man was Nabal, and the name of his wife Abigail. And she was a woman of good understanding.
And she was a woman of good understanding. Read on up.
And of a beautiful countenance.
And she also was beautiful. We read about many times sisters in Israel were very, very beautiful. Read on up.
But the man was churlish and evil.
But the man, her husband, was churlish and evil, stingy, evil, wicked man. What you got out? 1 Samuel chapter 24, 25, and verse 3. Remember, it's the same, going into a different account with sisters using discernment. Start up at verse 3 again, book, chapter, and verse.
This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 25 and verse 3. Now the name of the man was Nabal, and the name of his wife Abigail. And she was a woman of good understanding and of a beautiful countenance. But the man was churlish and evil in his doings. And he was of the house of Caleb.
Read on out.
And David heard in the wilderness that Nabal did shear his sheep. And David sent out 10 young men. And David said unto the young men, get you up to Carmel.
Yeah.
And go to Nabal and greet him in my name.
Read on out.
And thus shall ye say to him that liveth in prosperity, peace be both to thee, and peace be to thine house, and peace be unto all that thou hast.
So David is sending his men unto them because remember, y'all know David is on the run. They need resources and supplies. So they know that Nabal is doing good. He's prospering. So they're going to seek victuals. Read on out.
And now I have heard that thou hast shearers. Now thy shepherds, which were with us, we hurt them not. Neither was they aught missing unto them all the while they were in Carmel.
Read on out.
Ask thy young men, and they will show thee. Wherefore let the young man find favor in thine eyes. For we come in a good day.
Read on out.
Give, I pray thee, whatsoever cometh to thine hand unto thy servants and to thy son David.
So he's asking for things. Read on out. Let's jump down to verse 10.
Verse 10. And Nabal answered David's servants and said, who is David?
He said, what?
Who is David?
His brother talking about who is David. Like you don't know the reputation of David. This is David that killed Goliath at a young age. Read on out.
And who is the son of Jesse?
Uh-huh.
There be many servants nowadays that break away every man from his master.
So now he bringing up the account between him and Saul, like a wicked Negro would do, not understanding the matter. Read on out.
Shall I then take my bread and my water and my flesh that I have killed for my shearers and give it unto men whom I know not whence they be?
Read on out.
So David's young man turned their way and went again and came and told him all those sayings. And David said unto his men, gird ye on every man his sword.
So you know David is doing what? Loading up the troops, man. He finna go see about Nabal, man. Read on out.
And they girded on every man his sword.
Read on out.
And David also girded on his sword. And there went up after David about 400 men, and 200 abode by the stuff.
So he finna go see about Nabal. Read on.
Well, one of the young men told Abigail.
Told who?
Told Abigail.
Read on out.
Nabal's wife, saying, behold, David sent messengers out of the wilderness to salute our master, and he railed on them.
Because sometimes, and this is why it's so important to do what? To prove a friend. Because sisters don't want to get into a situation where you're dealing with a rude and ungodly husband, to where you have to do what? Now step up to guess what? Make supplications or make, guess what? Things right in the situation when your husband is just talking off at the mouth. Read on out.
Verse 15. But the men were very good unto us, and we were not hurt, neither missed we anything, as long as we were conversing with them when we were in the field.
So the servant told him, like, hey, Abigail, hey, your husband was rude to David. So Abigail, she already knowing, like, damn, David is a man of war. Hey, let me try to handle this situation. Jump down to verse 17.
Verse 17. Now, therefore, know and consider what thou wilt do, for evil is determined against our master and against all his household, for he is such a son of Baal.
So she knew her husband was wicked as hell, the devil. Read on out.
Belial, that a man cannot speak to him.
He was so rude that you couldn't even have conversations with him. Read on out.
Then Abigail made haste and took 200 loaves and 2 bottles of wine and 5 sheep ready dressed and 5 measures of parched corn and 100 clusters of raisins and 200 cakes of figs and laid them on asses.
So having discernment, knew that, guess what? David was coming to kill them. And her husband, guess what? She did the righteous thing. She gave them supplies. That's all David was asking for. And guess what? The thing was, they were in prosperity. They were rich. Read on up.
And she said unto her servant, Go on before me. Behold, I come after you. But she told not her husband, Nabal.
Read on up.
And it was so, as she rode on the ass, that she came down by the comfort of the hill.
In disguise. Read on.
And behold, David and his men came down against her, and she met them.
Read on up.
Now David has said, Surely in vain have I kept all that this fellow had in the wilderness, so that nothing was missed of all that pertained unto him.
Meaning he didn't take any of his stuff. Read on up.
And he had requited me for evil.
Uh-huh.
So and more also do God unto the enemies of David, if I leave of all that pertain to him by the morning light, any that pissed against the wall.
Say, read on up.
And when Abigail saw David, she hasted and lighted off the ass and fell before David on her face and bowed herself to the ground.
She used wisdom and discernment. Read on up.
And fell at his feet.
Read on.
And said, Upon me, my Lord, upon me, let this iniquity be. And let thine handmaid, I pray thee, speak in thine audience and hear the words of thine handmaid.
So she went and guess what? Dissolved the situation. And sometimes guess what? Wives have to be that in certain cases when you don't have a man of the Lord. Do sisters understand that? But it's also in a time of what? Indiscretion, knowing when the time to do it. This is a time. Why? When lives are on the line. Do sisters understand that? Do brothers understand that? Yes, I'm up. Jump over to Acts chapter 16, verse 16. Now, give me 1 John 4 and 1. That's what the Most High God always tell us to what? Try the spirit. Always try the spirit.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 4 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
Beloved, believe not every spirit.
Read it again.
Beloved, believe not every spirit.
Beloved, believe not every spirit. And a lot of times, brothers and sisters have to learn to apply this into their everyday lives, especially now with the understanding that brothers and sisters should be growing in with the truth. It's nothing wrong with having hospitality. There's nothing wrong. The Most High God commands that. But like the scriptures say, or like, guess what brothers and sisters should do? You trust, but verify. Meaning you trust, but you're going to prove a friend, man. Because then a lot of times, mainly sisters, you find out that that person wasn't the person that you thought that they were. You have to prove friends. This just doesn't go for husband and wives. This goes for, guess what? Sister and sister, brother to brother. Read it again,
Verse 1 from the top. Beloved, believe not every spirit.
But what up?
But try the spirit, whether they are of God.
Whether they are of God. How can you know whether a person is of God? Brother Azariah. What is one way you could tell if a brother or sister is of God or if a brother or sister is not of God? By their conversation. That is namely the first thing that guess what is an indicator of that. Now, do we judge all that one conversation at first time meeting? No. You guess what? You prove them a little bit more. If they still having that same conversation months later, that is their spirit. That's absolutely their spirit. What's another way, Sister Keo? By their what? By their works. Words and actions, those things carry weight. When you seeing brothers and sisters not being, guess what, diligent when it comes to this truth, not, guess what, taking the truth seriously, not carrying themselves as women as the Most High, as men of the Most High, those are things to identify. Read on,
Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirit, whether they are of God. Because many false prophets.
Because what up?
Because many false prophets are going out into the world.
Because many false prophets are going into the world. How do we identify a false prophet, Brother Katazar? How do we identify? That's right. If he's speaking Christ came for everybody, then guess what? That's not the case. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 20. Bruce needs to have this precept locked in. When it talks about false prophets, Bruce needs to have this law locked in. Because the Most High God gives us identifying markers where brother has no level of discernment. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 18 and verse 20.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 18 and verse 20. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him
Which he
to
have
speak,
what?
which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die.
So we have many of our so-called pastors today that fall up under that. You have TD Snakes, Joel Osteen. Say it again, who? You know, Ricky Rush. Many of them.
Ricky G. Rush.
TD, yeah, that's what I said. You didn't hear me? I said TD Snakes. That is TD Jakes. Yeah.
Make them holler for $1.
I know a brother you called about it. They said, "Pastor, close them doors." Read verse 20.
Verse 20. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die.
Read on up.
And if thou say in thine heart, how shall we know the word which the Lord had not spoken?
How do we know the word which the Lord had not spoken? How do we identify if he's a false prophet? Read on.
Verse 22. When a prophet speaketh in the name of the Lord,
read on.
If the thing follow not.
If the thing, what is the thing? The commandment or that action or the prophecy. If that prophecy don't follow after, read on.
If the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which the Lord had not spoken, but the prophet had spoken it presumptuously. Thou shalt not be afraid of him.
Let's get an example. Go to the book of Jeremiah chapter 28, one of my favorite examples. This is an example that y'all can put with Deuteronomy chapter 18, verses 22. Say it again. And we're going to start at verse 1. Really the whole chapter. Kind of get the context. So this is going into Hananiah's false prophecy. This is going into what? The time of getting ready for the Babylonian captivity. Read this.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 28, verse 1. And it came to pass the same year in the beginning of the reign of Zedekiah, king of Judah.
Read on up.
In the 4th year, and in the 5th month, the Hananiah, the son of Azar, the prophet, which was of Gibeon.
Read on.
Spake unto me in the house of the Lord, in the presence of the priest and of all the people, saying, Thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, saying, I have broken the yoke of the king of Babylon.
I'm talking about just a damn lie. Just straight up lie. How do we know it's a lie? Because they were in captivity. They were going into captivity. I have broken the king of Babylon. Most High God has given Israel into our hands, man. Read on up.
Within 2 full years will I bring again into this place all the vessels of the Lord's house that Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, took away from this place and carried them to Babylon.
So what was the catch? This is where the rubber meets the road on who is reading diligently. Read verse 3 again.
Verse 3 from the top. Within 2 full years.
Within how many?
Within 2 full years.
Who called it? How many years were they prophesied to go? 70 years. This is where brothers have to understand the history. Sisters as well, because you can get caught up on these things. They were going into captivity for 70 years under the Babylonians. Not being broken in 2 years. Read on up.
Within 2 full years will I bring again into this place all the vessels of the Lord's house that Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, took away from this place and carried them to Babylon.
Read on up.
And I will bring again to this place Jeconiah, the son of Joachim, king of Judah, with all the captives of Judah that went into Babylon, said the Lord, for I will break the yoke of the king of Babylon.
Because another prophecy was that what? Even Jeconiah, they weren't going to sit on the kingdom to rule anymore. So there was another false prophecy. Read on up.
Then the prophet Jeremiah.
Then the who up?
Then the prophet Jeremiah.
Read on up.
Said unto the prophet Hananiah, in the presence of the priest, and in the presence of all the people that stood in the house of the Lord.
Now you have the true prophet of the Most High standing up. Read on up.
Even the prophet Jeremiah said, Amen. The Lord do so. The Lord perform thy words, which thou hast prophesied, to bring again the vessels of the Lord's house, and all that is carried away captive from Babylon into this place.
They said, all praise, brother. I hope that happened, brother. Read on.
Nevertheless, hear thou now this word that I speak in thine ears, and in the ears of all the people. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old, prophesied both against me, many countries, and against great kingdoms of war, and of evil, and of the pestilence. The prophet which prophesied of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known. The Lord had truly sent him.
That the Lord had truly sent him. Jump down to verse number 12.
Verse 12. Then the word of the Lord came unto Jeremiah, the prophet, after that Hananiah, the prophet, had broken the yoke from off the neck of the prophet Jeremiah.
So he took that as a sign that guess what, they was getting out of captivity because he broke that yoke of iron that was off the prophet Jeremiah's neck. Talking about wicked as hell. Read on up.
Saying, go and tell Hananiah, saying, thus said the Lord, thou hast broken the yokes of wood, but thou shalt make from the yokes.
Read it right. Take your time up.
But thou shalt make for them yokes of iron.
But thou shalt make for them yokes of iron. Meaning you have broken, because they put Jeremiah in the stocks. If brothers and sisters don't know what the stocks are, that's when they put that wooden thing on you and kick your butt in a miry swamp-like pit. So not only do you have that thing on you, but you in a pit full of water, bugs everywhere, just sitting in that mud, basically rotting to death. Read on up.
For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, I have put a yoke of iron upon the neck of all these nations, that they may serve Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and they shall serve him. And I have given him the beast of the field also.
So Jeremiah prophesied the correct prophecy, saying that guess what? That would not happen. Y'all, we're going into captivity, and he have given all these nations into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar. Read on, verse 15.
Verse 15. Then said the prophet Jeremiah unto Hananiah, the prophet, hear now, Hananiah, the Lord had not sent thee.
The Lord had not what?
The Lord had not sent thee.
Why do we know that the Lord had not sent him? According to what we read earlier. I need to know that brothers is tracking with the precepts. According to what we just read, what did we read earlier that said that? Deuteronomy 18 and 20 saying that the thing followed not. Learn to track that mud with the words. That's how brothers be efficient teachers as well. Knowing and understanding the precepts and points. The thing followed not. Because you see, ultimately, that guess what? They stayed in captivity. And guess what? They had to carry out that captivity for 70 years. Read on out.
Hear now, Hananiah, the Lord had not sent thee, but thou makest this people trust in a lie.
That's right. Read on out.
Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will cast thee from off the face of the earth this year.
This what?
This year.
Read on up.
Thou shalt die.
Thou shalt what?
Thou shalt die.
Read on up.
Because thou hast taught rebellion against the Lord.
And that follows up with what the law and what we read. That prophet that spoke it presumptuously, that prophet shall die. And the Most High God held good on his words, man. Give me...
Read 17.
Oh, go ahead.
Verse 17. So Hananiah, the prophet, died the same year in the 7th month.
So we see that Jeremiah was a true prophet because that thing that he prophesied, that thing followed and it came to pass, man. Go to the book of 1 Corinthians. Last precepts. The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse number 1.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 1. And I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as unto babes in Christ.
Even as unto babes in Christ. Read on out.
I have fed you with milk.
I have fed you with what?
I have fed you with milk.
This is the point. Brothers and sisters need to accustom themselves with getting fed with the milk. Brothers and sisters, many times when you're new in the truth, and I say this because we always tell brothers and sisters, you are not truly in the truth unless you're what? Keeping the commandments. So we always ask brothers and sisters that are new in the truth, brother, when did you find out about the truth? And they tell me, oh, I found out about the truth in such time. Then I ask them, when did you actually start making a practice of keeping the laws? Then they understand, like, damn. Well, I didn't start till like my 3rd year. Well, that's when you actually came into the truth. That's when you actually started getting on a good foundation. When you're keeping the tabernacles, when you are keeping Passover, when you actually have to put in work to guess what? Get these specific high holy days organized. Who has have to help organize on high holy days? That is literally being in the truth. Feast of first fruits, Passover, tabernacles. You know, it's a lot of planning that comes with that. This is the work that the Most High God is looking for, because these things just don't fall on our lap. We don't have servants and handmaids at the snap of a dime. No, we have to literally, guess what? Do these things and not only do it, but maintain it. Read on up.
Verse 2. I have fed you with milk, and not with meat.
Not with the deeper understanding. Read on.
For hitherto you were not able to bear it.
Because a lot of times brothers and sisters are not able to bear those things. A lot of times you try to go too quickly, too fast, and it can easily do what? Pull you out of the truth. Read on up.
Neither yet now are ye able.
And guess what? Some brothers even now, sisters, are not able to bear it. And that's all right. There's nothing wrong with sticking with the milk until you, guess what? Get full of milk, and then guess what? Get them spiritual baby teeth in where you can start chewing on meat. Read on up.
For ye are yet carnal. For whereas there is among you envy and strife and divisions.
Read on up.
Are ye not carnal and walk as men?
So Paul is, I'm talking about breaking it down. It shows you how brothers and sisters are yet still carnal. When we see where brothers and sisters cannot handle situations amongst themselves, altercations, not using discernment, not using discretion, not using Matthews 18 and 15. Read verse 3 again.
Verse 3 from the top. For ye are yet carnal. For whereas there is among you envy and strife and divisions, are ye not carnal and walk as men?
Are ye not yet carnal and walk as men? Read on up.
For while one said, I am of Paul, and another, I am of Apollos. Are ye not carnal?
So when you making a distinction between them, because guess what? Both men had understanding of the scriptures. But we have brothers and sisters that do what? Try to put that division in there to sow discourse. That was not what that was about. Read on up.
Who then is Paul, and who is Apollos, but ministers, by whom ye believe, even as the Lord gave to every man?
Read on up.
I have planted.
Who have planted?
I have planted.
Read on up.
Apollos watered, but God gave the increase.
And that's what we need to look for. We need for the Most High God to increase us in discernment and wisdom so brothers and sisters can make better decisions. And with that, we give our honor and praise to the Most High, to his son Yahushua. Say shalom. We always tell brothers and sisters to keep the commandments of the Most High. We'll go back to that First Kings. Now we'll go to that Deuteronomy 4 and 5. Like I say, not a long, super long class. We just want to get back to the basics. Just want to make sure that brothers and sisters are steady getting built upon the milk. There's nothing wrong, because sometimes we do go into meat classes. We just want brothers and sisters to make sure that you still have those fundamental basics. Read this out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, and verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land, whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them.
And what?
And do them.
Read on out.
For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
So when we keep the commandments, this is our wisdom and understanding. Read on out.
Which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
And with that, we say shalom. Any brothers and sisters have any questions? Any questions? First fruits